guys, what's up? This is What's the Item. You're now watching me, Mox, and Shadow here. Yeah. Alright. So for today's episode, we're gonna be talking about 5 unsolved crimes in Malaysia. Korang tahu tak ada unsolved crime dalam Malaysia?
So not only in US, we also have our own unsolved crimes in Malaysia. So to start off with,
number 5, Datuk Seri Church, Koh Kim Teck. Okay. So back in 2005, there was this young 13-year-old Chinese national named Zhu Jian Huang. He was sent to live with his uncle's cousin. With his father's cousin. So unfortunately, in September 2005, the boy's body was found drowned in a swimming pool. Left on his body, there's a 23 torture marks. 23. So 23 torture marks lah. So dia kena pukul, dia kena mungkin toreh dengan pisau ke apa, something like that lah kan. So and then there was an investigation led to arrest the uncle lah, which is Koh Kim Teck, and then along with his 2 bodyguards from a house from Jalan Ampang. So the Datuk Seri ni was also revoked following his arrest, and then at the High Court, the victim's father took to the stand for the first time and claimed that Zhu sounded the son lah.
The son sounded frightened.
Yeah, sounded frightened, and then during a phone call 3 days prior to his murder lah. And then Zhu never sounded frightened before. Dia lepak dengan uncle dia, tak pernah rasa takut ke apa ke. And then before 3 days before he was found dead, and then
sounded scared.
He sounded scared lah kan. Father call kan, macam hello. Something dia takut lah kan. I'm not a good actor like Prince Mate. But and then, although the trial oh my god, ada juga jokes aside lah okay. So although that the trial presented many details regarding the case, missing witnesses resulted in Koh's acquittal, and then the case was never solved, and Koh disappeared in 2010. Boleh kata baru lagi lah. Baru lagi. Like
11 years ago.
11 years ago lah. Okay lah, but still quite baru lagi lah kan. And then when his acquittal was upheld kan. So yes.
So basically in this case what happened is that this the ex Datuk Seri lah, Koh Kim Teck ni, after he kononnya murder this boy, and after he was free from all charges, then after that baru diorang dapat tahu that tak, dia ni ada something not right, then diorang tarik balik yang all is free from all charges semua. Cantik pula 2010 dia hilang. So this guy is still somewhere out there, fabricated, we don't know where.
Dia dengan Jolo
naik sampan.
Dia naik sampan, Jolo naik yacht. Dia naik sampan. Apa nama?
Aku lah tahu.
Oppressor
or depressor,
I don't know. Upsetter, we don't know. So that is for number 5. Okay, so moving on
to number 4, the man who carried out mass murder in the train. Ada.
Okay.
So this story sounded similar like one of the recent movies by Johnny Depp. No.
Oh, bukan.
Not Train to Busan. So basically there's one movie, kalau I'm not sure whether korang ada pernah tengok ke tak, The Murder on the Oriental Express.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is something similar like that lah.
Yes.
So in this story what happened is that somehow it's claimed that it's ultimately solved, tapi there's a bit of a mystery surrounding this whole case lah. So in this story started in 1947, and Indonesian man named Mat Taram bin Saal, a 30-year-old man, convicted for stabbing 11 people on the train heading for Kuala Lumpur at a Kongsi nearby Bangi kan? So what happened that Mat had planned to return to Indonesia with his family, and so he sold a house, a farm in Perera, and he earned $200 straight dollar. When they arrived in Singapore to board the ferry, Mat realized that he didn't have enough money to purchase a ticket lah for this train ticket. So what happened that according to his wife, Mat's wife, he was depressed, could not sleep for days, and his family ended up returning to Perak that evening. From Bangi, yeah.
Okay.
So after that, just after the train had passed by Bangi, Mat simply walked into the train restaurant. Kan dulu the old carriage orang ada yang macam cafe kat belakang semua kan.
Yes.
So walk into the restaurant and then start stabbing 4 British men, like just randomly. Hey! And the train stopped. Mat made a run for it into the jungle, and all this happened while his family was still in the train. Yeah. And he didn't stop there though. He didn't stop there. He didn't stop the killing in the train. He continued killing outside.
Outside.
So he ran out from the train. He stabbed some homeless guy at Kongsi. He killed another 3 children. Yeah, it's another brutal thing lah. He killed another 3 children, 2 women and 1 man, while injuring 9 others. So long story short, Mat was arrested and declared mentally unsound. So the mystery behind this case is, what's the item lah? Apa masalah kau?
Kau tak ada duit nak masuk Singapore. Lepas tu kau macam went on a killing rampage.
Because the mystery that surrounds this case was that this guy just suddenly went berserk. I think maybe dia dah snap kot. Dia tak tahan, dia just like pump. And he went on a killing rampage lah.
Yeah. Sometimes also is because of money lah. So always money lah kan. I mean all of us heard stories of people commit suicide and everything. So this one is like the ship is going down and I'm not going down alone.
I'm going to bring everyone with me.
Yeah, as much people as I can. But kenapa dia tak attack family dia?
Good question. That is also a mystery, an unsolved mystery.
Yes,
and
that my friend is one of the 1,000 mysteries. Some people say there's a 1,000 stories in one mysteries, and then some mysteries there's 1,000
mysteries in
one story. And that, my friend, is one of the mystery.
Wow, he just confused me and he confused you guys juga.
Yes, macam Prince mate.
Okay, so that's for number 4.
Number 4. So going on, alright, to number 3, the small town girl who tried to make big, Norita Samsudin. This Norita had a look of a model lah kan. She was giving she had offers lah to do all this modelling punya photo shoot lah apa semua tu, and then most of them of the offers she turned down tau, and then because she wanted to focus on her career marketing and marketing executive something like that right? So and then unfortunately this girl didn't live long enough to see her dreams come true kan. So on 3rd December 2005, damn son, this is still quite new juga kan. I don't know what happened. What's wrong with me? Yeah, so Norita's naked body was found in an apartment in Sri Hatamas. So and then with her hands tied, and then there's a mark on her neck and everything, and she was believed to be murdered, strangled lah kan, kena cekik sampai mati during the wee hours. And then a man named Hasif Basri ni kan, dia jumpa this girl was to have a sexual relationship with Norita lah. I mean this guy ni lah.
This guy is having a
sexual relationship with this girl lah. And later he got arrested in connection to the murder lah. And then believe that he was the last person to see this girl. Okay. And then however shortly that this guy ni pun dia punya charge is like there's no charge. Tak jadi apa-apa. And then Norita punya social life macam tak ada benda apa, and then which never specified lah. There's nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing. It's an unclear situation lah at this point.
Yeah. So kalau macam tu, then how? Or maybe during that time the investigation was not detailed enough.
I think that it was detailed, but was not. It was detailed, but there was not much evidence to. I mean, you can't really say that just because he's the last person to meet and all that doesn't mean he's the person involved. Because if I'm not mistaken, in this case, it's mentioned that it was believed that another man was also that came to visit Norita.
Oh.
Yeah, so there was another man who met Norita after Hanif left. So even though he was the last man, but there was someone else came after that. So till this day, this case was still not solved.
But the story of another man coming in, we don't know.
We don't know who is that. It's still.
Is it inside the court punya ni ke apa?
Yeah, I think so. It's something.
It was mentioned.
Yeah, it was mentioned. So
but,
it's still quite recent. Not to say when we say recent, we're not talking about those 1980s and all that. This is between
2000.
2000.
Yeah,
So still
2000 and above. Still baru lagi. So anyway, going on to the second one, yeah.
Number 2.
Number 2.
The death of a Miss Malaysia runner-up on Federal Highway, John Perera Sinappa.
Okay.
Yeah, so this one is a bit sounded like a bit scary kind of thing. The death of a Miss Malaysia and all that.
Yeah.
Federal Highway pula tu. So this is a very old case. This incident took place in 1979 where John Perera Sinappa, who had lost her husband just a year ago in a car accident, she was found stabbed to death in a white Fiat 125 car parked along the Federal Highway. Federal Highway punya jalan somewhere around there lah. So there's this guy, her brother-in-law, S. Kartigesu, was found unconscious nearby the area juga lah. So it's a bit pelik lah. I mean, you have the.
They were together.
I think they were together. If I'm not mistaken, they were together. So she was in the car, found dead, while her brother-in-law was found unconscious nearby. So Kartigesu claimed that he had stopped the car by the side of the road untuk kencing, buang air. Right? So he just stopped the side of the road, quickly relieved himself, and he was suddenly hit from behind. He claims that he got hit from behind by someone, don't know who. However, the investigation found that John had been exchanging love. So
John is okay.
exchanging love letters with the Sri Lankan doctor, Dr. Narada, and cops believe that Kartigesu may have murdered John out of jealousy or vengeance for his brother. So in the end, Kartigesu, who was the only suspect on the 38-day court trial, was charged but released after an appeal. So lepas dah minta and this is also one of the many cases that today is unsolved.
So we don't know. We until now don't know who's the killer.
Yeah, there's no not to say there's no evidence. There could be evidence, but it's very it's not clear. It's not clear. Evidence is not clear.
So before we go to the number 1, is it? Number
Yes,
one.
number 1.
You know, there's this this is like apa ni? A feature, bonus lah. I don't know what year is it, but I know there's a story of someone. It happens in Federal Highway also. Kan ada yang pintu gerbang tu kan?
Oh, yang Selangor
ya,
pintu gerbang. Yes.
Yang dekat yang dengan telekomnya building semua tu kan. So dekat situ there was this story, and I think it went on the papers lah during masa tu. I think it was some 90s time lah kot. Kan dekat pintu gerbang tu ada orang gantung diri dia dekat situ.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So the pintu gerbang yang macam McD tu, kan? So the side yang nak heading towards KL, ada orang gantung diri dekat situ. So highway orang lalu semua nampak dead body kat atas. Yes, but some said I don't know if it's an unsolved case ke apa ke, but I heard 2 stories. Some said that the person bunuh diri, commit suicide. Second said he was murdered, and then just to make it macam tak ada case, bagi diorang buat macam nampak dia commit suicide.
Nice.
Yes, that, my friend, is one of the mysteries. Oh no. Okay, so moving on to the first one, the one that everybody knows, and then kalau korang tak tahu, you guys have been living under a rock, doing TikToks. Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. Alright guys, moving on to the first one, the last one, and then which is, I think most people akan expect something else, mungkin benda lain, tapi actually it's not. So it's the Malaysia's very first plane hijack. Mesti korang semua jawab MH370 370 kan? Sebenarnya bukan. Sebenarnya okay, this plane ni is actually MH653. Okay, so it happened back in 1977, and the plane was carrying hundreds of people en route from Subang Airport straight to Penang. Dekat je kan?
Dekat je, tak jauh
tak jauh pun. So some of the passengers of course lah ada VIPs, Malaysian Minister of Agriculture, which is Datuk Seri Ali bin Ahmad, and then apa ni?
At that time
At that time bukan sekarang lah kan. So the Minister of Agriculture, which is Datuk Ali, and then Cuban Ambassador to Japan, Mario Garcia. And then unfortunately all passengers aboard the plane died, and the only witness left on the plane was a black box.
Not the debug box.
Oh, bukan debug box, mate. Okay, so mesti Muhammad tu takut tu nak post ke tak. So okay, according to the recordings from the black box, it found that the hijacker like barged into the cockpit lah, dah serbu masuk and everything semua tu, and order the pilot, which is Captain Ganjor, and then to cut off the radio connections lah. So then the pilot asked to redirect the plane but with only half of tank of fuel. The only other possible destination was Singapore, so they decided to go there lah kan. So the plane was redirected to Singapore lah, sebab dah half tank of fuel. You dah estimate from Subang Airport to Penang, kau dah nak dekat sampai dan ni patah balik kan. So then however moments later the hijackers begin feel paranoid lah. Alright, and then after the plane was being redirected to Singapore kan, so and then moments later of course lah the hijackers semua dah start feeling paranoid.
What's the item?
Dia macam diorang berani buat something but tak berani nak accept to face the consequences. Macam kenal je. That my friend is one of the mysteries. So okay, anyway the hijacker feel paranoid, and then they killed the only pilot on the plane. So they shot the pilot died, and then of course later the plane crashed lah dekat Tanjung Kupang, dekat Johor lah kan. But unfortunately lah, no one survived lah.
Yeah, that's the sad part.
The crash. No one survived the crash, and then until today lah, they don't know who's the hijacker.
Okay, so basically what happened was that the hijacker was not to be found, and then cannot identify the body that's left, because it was to the point it was so bad like diorang memang tak identify lah who is who and what is what. So in the end, hijacker pun just lepas macam tu. Hijacker obviously mati lah dalam ni kan, melainkan kalau tiba ada parachute ke apa, and it's a different story lah.
And then different story lah, but so far tak ada evidence pun saying that the door open.
And then plus no one knows what's the reason of this hijacking in the first place pun. Because hijacker tak dapat cari. Even out of all that bodies yang dekat situ pun, no one knows who is who and what is what and all that. Yeah, I think that's wrap it up lah. That's all of our 5 unsolved crimes in
Malaysia. If you guys like this video and then find it very knowledgeable kan, please like, share, comment and subscribe on the channel lah kan. And then of course share lah dekat kawan-kawan korang ke, dekat maybe you can go and ask your grandparents ke apa ke kan, or your fathers ke apa ke, time macam tu, maybe they know lah kan. Anyway, so that rounds and sums the whole thing up, and then we see you on the next one. What's the item?
Open your eyes, 'cause you're never gonna know what the next might be your last. Everybody's always gonna bring on my